How's it going, people? TheCompleteRS here, and welcome to your quest guide for Fairy Tale Part 2. No fast forwarding, no skipping, just what you need to know. So, quest-wise, you need to complete the first part of Fairy Tale, obviously. Skill-wise, you need level 57 Herblore, 49 Farming, and 40 Thieving. Item-wise, you will want a Dreaming Staff and 1 vial of water. And there is a bit of combat involved, a little bit later on fighting some goraks, so you'll want to bring some food and gear, or at least have it in your bank. But once you're ready to start this quest, you need to head down to Drainer Market and speak to Martin, the Master Farmer. So, let's get into it. Here we go. So make your way down to Drainer then and speak to Martin. Run through his chat, choose option 2, talk about farming problems and fairies. Run through his chat some more, and basically he'll have a little tantrum. So now we have to wait around for about 5 minutes before you talk to him again. So I am going to skip ahead for that little section rather than sit here for 5 minutes doing nothing. But go ahead and talk to him again. You'll know his time as you'll have another option to choose once you talk to him for the second time. And this time you want to choose option 2. I suppose I'd better go see what the problem is then. So once you've managed to choose that option, it's time to move on to the next part. So we need to make our way down into Zenaris now. Pretty much the rest of this quest is all in Zenaris. So go ahead and home port over to Lumbridge. Make sure you got your Dreaming Staff and your vial of water with you. And make your way into Zenaris. If you happen to have forgotten, from the lodestone, pretty much run southwest into the Lumbee Swamp. And you'll come across a little dirt path. Just follow that to the west till it starts going north and then just head directly south. And it's this little shed right by here. So make sure you equip your Dreaming Staff before you open the door. And once you do so, you'll end up in Zenaris. So we need to head over towards the bank in here. So head over towards your west. Pretty much from where you are, run directly to your west. And eventually you'll come across the bank. And in the building just to the north of it, we need to go inside. It's Fairy Nuff's grotto. So head into this building right by here. And you'll have a little cutscene. So once you regain control, head inside and pick up the certificate on the right. Once you've picked up the certificate, go ahead and right click on it and study it. You'll have a bunch of gibberish pop up, go ahead and close that. And now you need to use this on the Fairy Chef. So head just a touch to your south and you'll see the bottommost building have a little cooking sign on your minimap. That's where you need to go. You'll find the Fairy Chef right here. Go ahead and right click use the certificate on the chef. Once you've done that, we now need to run down towards the Cosmic Altar. So from here you want to run towards your east and then head south here by the Fairy Ring. And if you haven't got high agility, then make your way all the way around this little cavern. If you have got high agility, I think it's around 60 for this top one, I can't remember the other one. Just skip through here and make your way towards the Cosmic Altar. So near the Cosmic Altar itself, you'll find a little sign on the floor. You just need to simply click that sign. You'll find it right by here. So in the far east corner, or south corner, sorry. There's a little white stone tablet on the floor. Just click on that. You'll have another little bunch of gibberish pop up. And once you've done that, you now need to speak to the Fairy Godfather. So from here, head back out through the cavern. And basically hug your eastern wall. And follow it all the way around. And you'll end up next to Chada the Slaymaster. The Fairy Godfather can be found inside the building there. So once you're at the cavern, head to your east. On your minimap, just click towards where the Slaymaster icon is. as that's where we need to go. So once you're here, make your way inside the building, speak to the Fairy Godfather, and choose option 1, Where's the Fairy Queen? Run through his chat some more, and then choose option 1, Do you have any idea who could have done this? And again, run through his chat, and choose option 1, Yes, okay. So, from now you want to head just a little touch to your north, and at the little intersection where the paths kind of cross, where you can go west and east, you'll find the Fairy Coordinator. Go ahead and speak to her. And choose option 2, the Fairy Rings. Now you want to head down towards the Fairy Ring. From here it's pretty much down towards your southwest, just to the side of the wheat field. And around by this Fairy Ring you'll see a fairy just flying about. Go ahead and speak to Fairy Fix-It. Run through a chat for a little bit. And it's time to enter the stronghold of the fairies. So go ahead and use the Fairy Ring. And pop in the codes you have on the screen now. So the first one is AIR. Pop that on, teleport to the location. You'll end up in a dead end. Use the Fairy Ring again to return back to Zanaris. Then use the Fairy Ring once again for a second time. This time you want to type in DLR. Go ahead and teleport. Another dead end. Go back into the Fairy Ring to go back to Zanaris. Use the Fairy Ring for a third time. This time the code is DJQ. Teleport. It'll be yet another dead end. Click on the Fairy Ring again for the fourth and final time. And this time we're going to AJS. So once you do so, you'll now find yourself in the Fairy Resistance hideout. So run up towards the northeasternmost room, and in here you'll find Fairy Nuff just flying about. Go ahead and talk to her. Run through all of her chat, and she'll ask us to go get the Queen's Secateurs. Easy enough. So once you eventually regain control, go ahead and use the Fairy Ring once again. And return back to Zanaris. And you need to head back to the Fairy Godfather now, as we need to right click pickpocket him in order to obtain the Queen's Secateurs. So once you're here, go back towards the Slaymaster. The Fairy Godfather is inside the house by there. Just right click pickpocket until eventually you obtain yourself some Queen's Secateurs. You might get it first time, you might get it after your 50th time. It's completely and utterly random. Normally doesn't take that long. So once you've got the Secateurs in hand, make your way back to the Fairy Ring. Go ahead and use it. And this time on the right side of the little screen, you'll see Fairy Resistance HQ. Just simply click on that. Once you do so, go ahead and teleport. And instead of having to go through 4 Fairy Rings at a time, you now instantly teleport to the HQ. Good times. So once you're back here, we need to go and speak to Fairy Nuff once again. So up in the northeasternmost room, go ahead and talk to Fairy Nuff. Run through a chat, she'll take the secateurs off you. Run through a chat some more. And apparently we now need to go make a magic essence pot. Fair enough. So go back to your fairy ring and head back into Zookeepers. And once you're back at Zookeepers, you need to use the fairy ring once again, and this time we're going to C, K, and P. So you'll find yourself in this weird ass-looking realm. Basically, you need to head towards the centre, give or take, and just stand around for a minute or so before you start seeing flowers spawning on like the edges. As you can see here, they do kind of grow slowly. You need to wait until they're fully grown to pick yourself a star flower. So this takes a minute, maybe 2 minutes at most, so I'll explain the next section coming up because that's where the combat comes into it. Basically, we're going to be fighting goraks. It's possible multi-way combat, and they're about level 74, so if you're really low level, then just bring a hell of a lot of food and you should be fine for the most part. If you're high level, then you basically just need to face roll on your keyboard and you'll smash them apart without trying. There's not really a massive amount to it, they're not particularly difficult to kill. It's the same goraks you see up in God Wars Dungeon. Breathe away. Once you've waited for these flowers to go ahead and pick one, and you'll get a flower essence. Go ahead and use that on your vial of water. And now you'll get an unfinished potion. So at this point, if you need your armour and weapons, head to the bank and come back to the fairy ring as we go into DIR, and this is where we fight your goraks. Go ahead and teleport. And stab a gorak in the face. We need a gorak claw. So once it's dead, rip its claws, and use the fairy ring to get back. So go ahead and grind the gorak claws. That'll give you some gorak powder. Use the powder on the unfinished pot, and you've now just made a magic essence pot. Once you've done that, head back to the Fairy Resistance HQ. Again, easiest way to do it is simply on the right side of the screen, click on the Fairy Resistance HQ, and it'll take you there. And if, like me, for some reason it starts you again from the beginning, just keep clicking on the Fairy Resistance HQ, go back through a couple of times, eventually you'll end up there. So finally, once you're back in the Fairy HQ, you want to head back up towards Fairy Enough. We're not talking to her this time though. On one of the beds nearby, you'll find the Fairy Queen. All you need to do is right click use the magic essence on the Queen. So find the Queen, she's the one wearing a red dress towards the north side. Just simply right click use the magic essence pot on her. And then speak to her afterwards. And that is literally it for this quest then. So quest complete, happy days, speak to the Fairy Queen after you field it, and that'll finish it up for you. So for doing this, you gain 2 quest points, 3.5k of Herbler XP, 2.5k of Thieving XP, a lamp with 2.5k XP, which you can use on any skill, level 30 or above, and it's actually bankable as well, nice little bonus. And access to the fairy rings, as well as being able to make those magic essence pots if you want. And that is pretty much it for Fairy Tail Part 2, so hopefully you found this guide useful. And well done on completing it. Fairy Tail Part 3 up very, very soon. So until next time, people, I'll catch you later. Have a good one.